Welcome everybody to Mina's studio. Our theme today is feast and festivities, and it's perfect if you can see in Stillwater. It's a beautiful, lovely day today. Hopefully you're enjoying nice weather as well. So just a little housekeeping thing. At the bottom of the page, you'll see Q&A. So list any questions that you have throughout the event, and we'll answer them towards the end, about 12:25 or so. So first, I'd like to introduce some of our panelists. We're going to have them join us here. All right, so first we have, since we have Stephanie here from the ADA. Stephanie, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yes, good afternoon. My name is Stephanie Camalo. I am residing out of Michigan, but I currently am the executive director for Michigan, Minnesota, and North Dakota, and I have been with the association for almost 18 years.
Cool, and then we also have Sarah, who's also from the ADA as well. Do you want to tell us a little about yourself?
Yeah, of course. I am also physically in Michigan, but I work under Stephanie for the ADA, and the majority of where I do my work is in the Minnesota area. So that's where I spend all of my time.
Awesome. And then we have Lonnie Stormo, the co-founder and CEO of POPS as well.
Hi, good morning, good afternoon, everybody. I'm excited to be here with you again today. I look forward to talking to you a little bit more.
Awesome. And then we also have Chef Marshall O'Brien, who's actually going to share a couple really great recipes with us towards later in the segment.
Looking forward to it. You want me to see you then?
Sounds good. All right, let's get started. So first we'll have Lonnie talking about how the new updates on Mina and how she's helping to be a better resources to a lot of our owners.
Again, welcome everybody. I am so excited that you're here and that we're having another Mina studio and enabling people to know more about what POPS does and how POPS can help you. And that's a key part of what I really want to share today is, you know, POPS does not see you as a person or a patient with diabetes. I have diabetes. I'm not a patient. I'm just a person. I'm just a person going about trying to live my life, doing various things. And I know that's the way we all are when we have diabetes. We're just trying to live our lives. And our mission is to provide and be able to give you a technology resource to allow you to take care of yourself, to enable you to manage your diabetes, own your life, no matter where you're at and what you're doing. And if we can do that, we're being successful. So I'm excited today to tell you a little bit about how we're doing that and some of the changes that we're making to make it even better and make more able for you to take care of yourself. So I'm going to start with Mina. So we all know Mina through our app as our virtual health assistant. And we're continuing to make Mina more and more valuable to you as a resource. And what you probably have been noticing if you use POPS and if you have Mina with you, is that Mina is offering you more resources and more opportunities to learn what you can do to take charge of your diabetes. Might be a video, could be a video of Chef Marshall helping you understand how you can eat better. Or it could be a blog or something else that you can use to take one more step in your management and championship over your diabetes. And so with Mina, we continue to evolve her, continue to make her smarter, continue to connect more information into her. And with that, we're giving you a resource for you to take more charge of yourself. Now, I said it all starts with Mina, and Mina's at the center. But what I want to introduce to you today is Mina and our POPS ecosystem. So you can see behind me here, I have a diagram of a circle with Mina at the center of it. And Mina really is the conductor of this POPS ecosystem. And we divided the ecosystem into 7 sectors. Let me just read them off for you quick, because I'm not sure if you can read them. At-home testing, at-home prescriptions, education, health services, wearables, sensors, where of course we have our own POPS glucometer that I'm sure you're using also because it's just easier to check your blood sugar, and therapies. So these are the 7 sectors that we identified as an ecosystem to surround Mina with. And what we do is we identify barriers. So barriers, we talk to people with diabetes and we say, what are the barriers to you reaching your optimal health? To you taking charge of your diabetes? What's getting in your way? And we've created that list of barriers. We're always open for new ideas and new barriers that we should take on for you. And then we say, how can we eliminate that barrier? And it could happen in a variety of ways, but one way is to add partnerships in this ecosystem. So as an example, in the education sector, one of the barriers that people have is, I don't know how to eat, or I know how to eat, but I don't know how to cook. or the theme of today, I don't know how to get through the holidays and still take charge of my diabetes. So that's why we have resources in the education sector like Chef Marshall, who has, as I mentioned earlier, created videos for us that you might be seeing through Mina, or joins us in something like Mina Studio today. And then up in the health services sector, you might remember if you were at Mina Studio a quarter ago, we had one of our new partners, Boo Vitamin, do a presentation. And if you weren't there, or just to remind you, she showed how people with diabetes can benefit from taking the right vitamins. But if you're like me, you walk into a drugstore and you see row after row after row of vitamins, and you have no idea what vitamins to take, and then you walk away. That's a barrier. So how do we remove that barrier? We partner with Boo Vitamin so that you can actually answer a 5-minute survey, and they'll send you a bottle of customized vitamins just for you right to your home. Barrier removed. So this is the way we continue to build out our ecosystem and how we can help you take charge. We're continuing to make changes. We're going to have some new partnerships that we're going to be announcing soon. And Mina's doing some new things that you'll start to see coming up here in the first of the year also. We'll talk more about those. But for us, just remember, we'll always respect you as a person, not a patient. And we'll always be here to give you a resource so you can own your diabetes and own your life.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Lonnie. Mina is doing so many exciting things, just even the last few months, that it's awesome to see that. So next up, Sarah and Stephanie from the ADA to kind of share with us what they've done for National Diabetes Month and how they help from an ongoing basis as well.
Yes, excellent.
Cool. So we have a little Q&A.
Yeah.
So let's start off. What did the ADA do to actually recognize this November during National Diabetes Month?
So November is a really important month for us every year because it's our National Diabetes Month, and it's part of the year where we really take a step back from a lot of the work we're doing as far as interactions and fundraising and things like that. And we really focus on concentrating on a couple of really big things. This year, they broke it down into 4 separate weeks. So each week of the month, there was something new that we were educating people on, and just kind of like the things we do all year long throughout the year. And we kind of just concentrated it into one little month just to make sure that people were getting everything they needed all at once. So the 4 weeks we broke it down to were awareness, detection, thriving, and management, because here at the ADA, we're not only really concerned about finding a cure and finding prevention and finding all the things that research bring, but we also want to make sure that people that are living with diabetes currently, all forms, are thriving in their life. They're learning how to manage things. They're learning how to see if their loved ones are susceptible to getting it as well. So the detection and the awareness. So we did a lot of Ask the Experts, where people could get on live with this virtual world. This is kind of what we're still doing a little bit, but Ask the Experts, they had experts on a wider range of things that we had authors on that written books on diabetes and diabetes management. We had some of our doctors and researchers on a couple of times, and these were all just individual sessions that people did. So that paired up with a couple of fun games, and then just everything could have been found on our Facebook. So if you follow us on Facebook, you could have seen just everything was posted daily, just so you could see kind of the updates and what we're doing, how you can accomplish these things, just like a boot camp, like a mini little diabetes boot camp. So that's kind of what we went for this year.
Awesome. Cool. Very cool. And then on that note too, can you share a little bit about what the ADA does just from a year-round basis as far as being support and what your mission is and whatnot?
Yeah, absolutely. As I had mentioned, that our mission is to prevent and cure diabetes, but then the second half of it is to improve the lives of those living with diabetes today. So we concentrate on those 2 things, and year-round, that's where the majority of our efforts go. Whether it's having community events or these types of things like Ask the Experts. Our website has risk tests and resources, all sorts of really great stuff you can get a hold of. They even have some sections now that they've developed specifically for women, specifically for seniors. So it's really developing into something that you can go to for any question you have and really get an answer. It's
awesome.
Become a one-stop shop.
That's awesome. I was gonna say, my next question is what kind of resources, and do you cover all types? But you essentially answered that, so that's awesome. It's really great to just be across the board, and like even saying drumming it down to men and women and, you know, younger people and whatnot. So that's great.
Yep,
What would you tell? Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, no, I was going to say, and we do cover all types of diabetes. You know, there's type 1, type 2, pre-diabetes, and then sometimes people forget gestational diabetes is also something, but we do cover those all as far as help, resources, all sorts of good things.
Very cool. Last question. What would you tell someone who is overwhelmed with managing their diabetes?
Well, I can say, and then I'm sure Stephanie has some advice too. I can say one of the most important things that I've learned just working with the ADA and in my past positions working to help the diabetes community is that it's going to really rely on you to make sure that you're managing it, to make sure that you're being healthy and you're doing these things. I think a lot of people are surprised when they go to the doctor and they get their diagnosis, how little kind of support and information they get. So that's why we're here. We're here to provide that. We're here to make sure that you feel comfortable and safe in your journey with diabetes. So I would say, make sure that you are doing everything you can regardless. There is a lot of studies out there about therapeutic inertia and doctors just kind of going with the flow when it comes to doing your treatment. And so it's going to be up to you to know your rights, to know what your limits are, to know just everything. Every single person is individual. So that's the most important piece of advice I could give people, is that you're not alone. There's a whole community out here for you, and that you should definitely take it in your own hands, take your health in your own hands. And then Stephanie.
Yeah, I would just say we understand that diabetes is an overwhelming diagnosis. We truly do. Whether or not we've been in that seat, we have a family member that's been in that seat, walked with a coworker, and so my advice would be to hear the advice and then start making small steps. You cannot change an entire lifestyle overnight. It is overwhelming. Make small steps towards change, toward progress, and aim for progress, not perfection, because this is, unfortunately for now, a lifetime disease, right? We are hoping that there is a cure within the lifetime, and we're definitely finding research around better management and, better technologies and things. You could probably ask people that had diabetes a long time ago, and they would say what it is now is definitely progress. And so that's what I would say: progress over perfection, and make small steps every day to a healthier lifestyle.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for you guys being here. This is really helpful, and it's really awesome to have that partnership with the ADA, and we appreciate your information and whatnot. And I'm sure we'll have questions towards the end as well.
Perfect.
All right, up next, we have Chef Marshall O'Brien, and he is going to be sharing ways to stay healthy and eat healthy during the holidays, and has a couple great recipes. But at the same time, we still want to have fun during the holidays. So he's going to offer things that'll make things a lot less overwhelming than what they can be as far as when the sweets and everything else comes out. So take it away.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much. Can you hear me and can you see me, everybody? I'm going to take that as a yes. Well, it's a real pleasure to be here. And I want to just kind of piggyback on what Sarah and Stephanie said, that, progress over perfection. What we do for our jobs is we help people improve their safety performance and quality of life through smart nutrition. And one of the key things to being able to do these is all about baby steps. It is all about progress over perfection. And I only have 10 minutes because I'd tell you about all my imperfections, but that's not why I'm here. I'm here to put on some great tasting, nourishing recipes for the holidays. And when you think about the holidays, for some people, it's a time to celebrate. It's fun. It's friends, it's families, it's positive memories. And for some people like myself, back when I was younger, I had a negative attitude about it. It stressed me out. But I've learned over the years through my kids to really enjoy it and embrace it. And now it's a lot of fun. Having said that, all the fun includes the people and the food. And, at the end of the day, like Stephanie was saying, it is up to us. We have the control as to how we want to feel and how we want to show up every day, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. And so if we eat the right foods, and this is where, like Lonnie was talking about, helping learn how to empower yourself in your kitchen and in your life so you can make changes that you want in your life. Food is a powerful component to that, no matter the season. This holiday season, I want you to come in excited and curious about how you can enjoy delicious and nourishing foods that'll work for you. And I got 2 awesome recipes that I want to showcase on that. The first one we have is we have a balsamic roasted sweet potatoes with almonds. Can we get a close-up on this, folks? I'm working with I have some sweet potatoes, almonds, little Parmesan cheese, balsamic vinegar, some olive oil, and then a little bit of salt. I mean, really simple. What I like to do when it comes to the holidays is I like to make sure that things are simple, because we got all sorts of things going on in our life, and we just want to make it fun. We want to make it easy for ourselves, and anything that we can do ahead of time, definitely you want to do that. You know, whenever I do my presentations, whether it's in Mina Studios or it's for webinars or it's on my TV stuff, I've been a regular on our local television here in town for over 8 years. I want to make it as interactive and participatory as possible. So, in the spirit of interaction, since we live in the digital world, how do we still connect with people, right? Got my first question for you folks is I want you to put your courage in your fingertips and tell me on a scale of 1 to 4, are you a ninja knife master, or on the opposite end at a 1, not, I'm unable to hear can everybody hear my audio okay? Let me see that. Okay, it's not for me, sorry. Ninja knife master, scale 4 or 1, are you needing some work? So put your courage in your fingertips, let me know. I wanna know, where are you at? And this is a really relevant question because, you know, like Lonnie said, is those skills, the skills and confidence are going to help you take these baby steps to help you live your best life. And I want to be a resource in any way that I can. Just so you know, for folks that are seeing me, for Rachel, way to go, way to have the courage and put that in there. For those of you that, and Jeanette, all right, everybody's bringing the honesty. I love it. You need help. Well, I'm here to help you. When I say I actually mean we. We are a team of registered dietitians, researchers, chefs, writers, videographers, publisher, editors. So as time goes on, as you're using Mina to help support you on your journey, you're going to see more of us. And when I say us, you're going to see the information that I'm bringing to you is I wouldn't be able to do it on my own. So I have a great team to support and facilitate that. All right, getting into this recipe. Now, for folks of you that had the courage to recognize your skills, if you're at a 3 or a 4, that's great. But if you are, let's say you are at that 1 or that 2, no problem, okay? That's why we practice. So my first thing, now this is we're making the balsamic roasted sweet potatoes. These are very, very simple. I'm just making these into wedges. Didn't take a whole lot of skill. What I want you to be thinking about is being curious and having the confidence to try it. So you do not have to be a 4 on that Ninja Knife Master. No, sir, you do not need to do that. But just having that curiosity and knowing that it can be done is really important. All right, so we're cutting up our sweet potatoes. I've peeled them as you saw, and I'm making some wedges. Very simple here. Then we're gonna lay them on a sheet pan, big pieces, okay? So any skill will work. We're gonna take half of our olive oil, and by the way, folks, you get these recipes, they're being provided to you in some form or fashion thanks to technology. So be on the lookout for these. Awesome, great taste. You're gonna love them. What I love about this recipe, oh, you know what? I have to make a confession. I made a mistake, all right? You gotta wait to put the balsamic vinegar on. I was so excited to connect with you today that I rushed the recipe. That's okay. Well, what we're gonna do is when you do it at home, you're gonna wait on the balsamic vinegar, you're gonna put half your olive oil and pop it in the oven. And then thanks to TV magic, it is going to be nice and tender. And at that point, we will add the remainder of the olive oil and the balsamic vinegar. You know, life happens in the kitchen, and it's okay. Like we talk about, I can't take credit. Stephanie and Sarah were saying, progress over perfection. I really want you to be thinking, if you did one thing that made you feel good in making great tasting, nourishing foods for yourself that you weren't doing yesterday, that's progress. So keep it up. But anyways, thanks to TV Magic, that went really fast. I know. We take some of our roasted sweet potatoes here that we did a little bit of olive oil and a little balsamic vinegar. And then we're going to take some Parmesan cheese, and you can stack these, you know, you can put them on a platter. That's sort of my intention, is I want to help you, like I was saying, make life easier. So you have these on a platter, bigger than this, of course, and then everybody can enjoy it. Now, I mentioned earlier about making things in advance. And I want to go back to that, because I got all into my stuff and I forgot to get that point. If you can prepare the sweet potatoes in advance, or with our next recipe, which is our red, white, and blue salad, and it's so festive, it's vibrant, it's colorful, it's beautiful, you're going to absolutely love it. If you can prepare the ingredients in advance, we have working with jicama, some apples, bell peppers, blueberries, radishes. You can do these in advance and then assemble them when you are ready. It's going to make it a lot easier for yourself when you are having your celebration, and you'll have those things done, and it'll be so much easier. So I want you to think about, what can you do ahead of time to make this really simple for yourself? Again, we all have our different experiences when it comes to the holidays. I don't know what yours is and what it brings out for you, but if you're going to be hosting and you're going to be, or bringing food, let's make it easy, plan it ahead. That the balsamic roasted sweet potatoes you're going to absolutely love. Questions, comments, thoughts. Another thing that I want you to think about, folks, is how can you, so we talk about, preparing dishes in advance, practicing your skills. That's really important, that confidence piece and that practicing piece. But then also, maybe trying to literally reframe how you're looking at the holidays. Is it all about the food? And if it is that an empowering position to be in? Or is it about connecting with friends and family? Now, one thing that I love about these two recipes that I'm showing you today is that they are rich in slow carbohydrates. And slow carbohydrates are really essential to help keep your blood sugar balanced and help slow the absorption of sugar into the bloodstream. When your blood sugar is balanced, you're going to have stable moods. You're going to have consistent energy. You'll have better mental clarity. I mean, let's think about it. Think about it for a second. Holiday time, a lot of activities going on, a lot of being pulled, and maybe you're being pulled in multiple directions, whether you have kids or grandkids with activities and whatnot, and parties and obligations to do. Well, if you have stable blood sugar, you're going to be more grounded, and you can respond to situations and respond to making choices that help you. Again, progress. I love that. Sarah and Stephanie, I'm going to keep tapping on that. That's one of our core philosophies. So really, focus on reframing it, maybe from the food to the people. And then when you do think about the food, again, I want to bring back to great tasting and nourishing dishes that will work for you. So this I have here is jicama. I was talking while I was peeling. Let's come back to the knife skills now, because I asked you, how are your skills? Look at what I'm doing here, folks. I'm letting my knuckles do the work as I dice up this jicama. Okay, I cut the jicama into some matchstick, or not matchsticks, but sticks, if you will. And now I'm just letting my knife do the work. And I just keep doing this. Again, this is all of these dishes, all of these things you can do in advance. So if it helps you, by all means, let's do that. So we're taking our jicama that we cut up. We're going to next take some apples, and you can leave the peel on. I just like to make sure that I have a really nice tart apple. You notice that when I'm cutting here, I'm cutting down to the board, not at my fingers. And if you like to use a apple core, that's fine. You can do that. I really like using my knife skills, because the more I practice, the more efficient I'll be. Ultimately, knife skills are what's going to really help you in making awesome tasting, nourishing foods to feel your best. So I really want you to keep that in mind. All right, so we take some apple in there and we're popping that in. I mean, we just started this and it is really beautiful. We'll take some blueberries. The one thing I love about this dish is how it just brings out all the colors of this time of year. So I hope you see that as well as you're preparing that. We're gonna take some radishes, and the radish will be a nice little complement to the sweetness from the apples and the sweetness from the apples and the blueberries. So we're gonna slice this up, thank you very much. I'm going to put some of those in there. We're going to do a few more here. Questions, comments, thoughts, folks. Oh, I lost a radish, so we'll continue on. My wife always gives me grief about dropping food on the counter and then using it, but that's all right. She's not here, so she won't see that. Slicing that up. Practice the knife skills. Let the knife do the work. Let the knife do the work. And you can see I'm definitely, that is just a gorgeous, fun looking salad. I love that. Then we're going to add some bell peppers here, folks. Now I've provided you, and I'm not sharing all the tips right this second, but I've provided you a tips sheet for getting through the holidays so you can make it more enjoyable and not be as stressful. And those tip sheet, that tips sheet is going to include some of the big picture philosophy that we talked about with, choosing the right kinds of nourishing foods. Another point I'd like to make when it comes to, some tips on those holidays is a lot of holiday foods are really specific just to the holidays. So if you can find the special homemade ones and avoid store-bought ones, those are going to be more nourishing choices to help you feel better throughout the holidays. So that's a nice nugget, because if you can find it year round, I would say, why don't you avoid it? That's something to keep in mind there. And you also want to think about, what about hydrating? What role can hydrating have in the holidays? Well, a lot of times, if we haven't thought through how we're going to be nourishing ourselves this time of the year, we get to a holiday party, all of a sudden, maybe we're hungry, we're thinking, oh, I didn't eat something, I'm thirsty. Well, now we start making choices because we're in reaction mode, because our blood sugar might be all over the place. So if you can get in the habit of having a nourishing snack and then having a big glass of water before you participate in your festivities, that's going to actually help you feel more grounded and more comfortable and frankly confident when you go into those situations that are possibly outside of your ideal eating plan. Can't emphasize that enough. Questions, comments, thoughts, questions, comments, thoughts. Look at how beautiful this salad is. We're going to add a little bit. I think I'm out of time. You guys want to pull me off stage, I totally understand, and I'll wrap it up, please. We're going to add a little bit of fresh mint here, and then we're going to finish it off. We're going to finish it off with some olive oil. Look at how beautiful and festive that is. With a little bit of olive oil and a little bit of salt, you're all set. Again, you've got great tasting, wonderful dishes that are going to help you make your holidays delicious, nourishing, fun. And I'm going to just kind of wrap it up with what was mentioned earlier. Anything that you can do today that you were not doing yesterday that's positive when it comes to preparing dishes for yourself, making food choices that are going to support your efforts in feeling good, that's progress. Okay. It's all about baby steps. And, it's just a real pleasure and privilege to be with all of you today for taking the time. You could have been doing something else, but you chose to be here. So thank you so much. Really appreciate it. My time is up. Stephanie, thank you.
Hello.
So much.
No, that was awesome. Those recipes look scrumptious, so no worries whatsoever. Now we're gonna kind of turn everybody else on and lead into our Q&A session. So I've got a couple questions here that already came through earlier. So one tip, since Marshall, you're here, what's one tip you'd recommend someone trying to stay healthy during the holiday? Like, what's your top number one?
Real big thing, and I've kind of tipped on, I touched on it a bit, is one is reframing how the holidays look for you, but it's real specific, something you could take action right now. I want you to come up with a plan for yourself. So if you know you're going to have a lot of holiday parties, I want you to immediately put your courage in your hand and make a call to those party folks, hosts, and say, I'm going to bring a dish. And don't ask, but just say, hey, I'm bringing a dish. This is what it is. Because what you are doing now is you're taking control for your plan so you can create a safe zone in those spaces. So at least when you go to holiday parties, you have at least one dish that you will enjoy and you can be a part of that. So take ownership from that standpoint of having a plan, and people are going to love you for it too, because you're helping them, making life a little easier for those that are hosting. So that would be one of the things. I could share some more, but I'll give the floor to other people till it's my time again.
Sounds great. And guys, too, whether it's in the chat or Q&A, if you guys have questions right now for either Sarah and Stephanie from the ADA or Chef Marshall, please list them. But I do have one for Sarah and Stephanie. Do you have a blog that for helpful resources for those that have diabetes or have been diagnosed with prediabetes or just kind of thinking about it in general?
Yeah, we have more than that. We have our entire website acts as kind of a blog, depending on what you're looking for. We have on our site that you have access to podcasts, videos, articles, depending on how deep you want to get into it, whether it's research or it's just maintaining each and every day. Like I mentioned before, our Facebook is very active if you want to get on there and just have that normal reminder. And then we also have, trying to think of what else we have. It's really I'm not a huge whiz at this type of stuff, but it is really user friendly. Our website is, you just follow the prompts and see where it's going. And I don't know, Stephanie, if you have any other,
Oh, I was going to say, I would get on social media. We have a national Facebook and Instagram page. We have local pages if you want to just be involved locally. But our website is truly where we put everything so that it is kind of a one-stop shop and you can just go find all of the information you need.
Awesome. And Lonnie spoke about earlier, this is a question for Chef Marshall. Lonnie spoke earlier about how with Mina's, now that she's more innovative, she's grown quite a bit, and she offers questions as you're testing that leads, if it says how confident you feel in healthy eating, and it leads to a video that you provide. So what other resources do you have outside of those 2 videos that Pops has been sharing in the app?
Outside of those, well, you hit a lot of video content, but we also have cookbook meal planners. We have workbooks. So, I mean, you have so many tools and resources within the as Lonnie says, the Pops ecosphere. Ecosphere, is that how it was said, I believe?
Ecosystem, close though.
Sorry about that. But yeah, again, with the cookbook meal planners, our workbooks, we also have lots of recipes as well. And we also have a lot of specific tactics that you can take. Just go to chefmarshallobrien.com and learn how you can take those steps, incorporating your family. When you have people involved to support you, statistics show that you're much more likely to achieve success in that progress than if you're having to do it alone. So, use the resources that you have available through ADA, through Pops, through us, and we're happy to support you in any way we can.
Awesome. Very cool. Well, just kind of to wrap up here, I'll let you guys know that there will be an email going out for the pre-recording for those who had missed it, or if you weren't able to join right off the bat. And in that too, we'll be sharing the tips from Chef Marshall, also the recipes that he shared with us today, and then a couple blog posts and just information about how, what Sarah and Stephanie talked about, resources for the ADA. And there's going to be a quick little survey at the end, just for a couple quick questions, just to say what you learned from it, what you enjoyed from it, and hopefully to see you next time in the next couple months. Thanks so much, everybody.
Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it.